Good evening, everybody. This is the Polar Bear speaking. Tonight, I officially launched my self-defense channel, which is this one that you logged into, called the Polar Protection. I've been wanting to do a self-defense course for a long time because I think what's out there is no good for you. And I know many people, especially the people who have been following me for a while, see the necessity of learning how to do self-defense. I'm going to talk a lot, and I'm going to show very, very little, which is uncommon for a self-defense situation. But I believe that everything you're seeing here in the background has nothing to do with self-defense. This narrative of self-defense is a self-proclaimed one. I even, for a while, proclaimed my own sport to be self-defense, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've realized in my search for what self-defense really is that most martial arts are not meant for self-defense. And hear me out on this one before you start hammering the keys, all these martial arts are either sports or attack options. They are a part of what I call fighting. And fighting is something totally different than self-defense. I would actually put it in the other end of the spectrum of self-defense. When you're doing this, or any of the other perfect techniques like this, you're not doing self-defense. This is fighting. That's what comes when self-defense has failed. It is necessary to understand that in order to preserve yourself, you do not want to fight. Fighting is the opposite of preserving yourself. You want to recognize that every time you choose to use these techniques, you're going to get hurt. And if you're going to get hurt, then it can't be self-defense, right? This is worst case scenario where you're trading one evil with a lesser evil. The moment you choose to fight, you're no longer in self-defense mode. Now you're in fight or flight mode. And why is this important? Well, I'll tell you. Because what I'm doing, I've been doing judo and jiu-jitsu for a long time, and I've been boxing the most of my life. And what I am doing is sport. It is a hobby. It is recreation. Can these self-defense mechanisms that we want be transferred into what we know from our sport and our hobby? Of course it can. But we have to look at it for what it is. Martial arts is a tool. It is a tool that can be applied in many situations across the board. Yes, martial arts can be utilized in a self-defense scenario, but it's not designed to. It is designed to be a way to preserve yourself when self-defense has failed. I think it's very important to understand that in order to preserving and defend yourself, and I know I'm going to say this a lot, but I'll say it again, you have to avoid fighting at all costs. It's like the old narrative of being immune to something. Many people think that if they want to be immune to some poison or something like that, that they need to take a little of it every day in order to build up that immunity to that poison. No, you just have to avoid the poison. It's really that simple. So with that in mind, I want to talk today and about the difference of protecting yourself and fighting. Because you have to understand that you can be good at one without the other. Those two do not go hand in hand. You can be very good at fighting, but terrible at defending yourself. And the other way around, you can be very good at defending yourself and terrible at fighting. You can even hold 2 or 3 black belts and be terrible at fighting. And now I know all the keyboard warriors out there want to throw in their fists, you know. Yeah, but my self-defense, my sport, my martial art definitely works for fighting. It does. It truly does. But are you ready to fight? It's not about the techniques that you know, but have you ever been in a fight? Because if you haven't, I tell you, it's different. It's different than walking on the mats 2, 3, 4 times a day, or 3, 4 times a week, or 3 to 4 times a month. It is something totally different to fight your sparring partner in contrast to fighting somebody that's fighting for their lives. So this is lesson number 1 in self-protection. Avoid fighting at all costs. There are no winners in a fight. There are only the notion of who lost the most. When you choose to fight, it's because you have no other option. And you also have to understand, if you choose to fight, it's not only your life that's on the line. It is whatever you're looking at as well. And with that knowledge, you have to understand that you can be in a situation where you're losing no matter what, even if you're winning. If you're winning and that other guy get crippled in some manner, the police will come and you will lose. So let this be the first lesson in my new series. And I'll see you on the next one. This is the Polar Bear checking out. See you on the flip side. Over and out.